Hi everyone! The following example is taken from an article in Guitar Player magazine in which John Scofield discusses and demonstrates some of his techniques and approaches to playing the guitar. I'm unaware who wrote the article as my copy is incomplete. In this video, therefore, I'll refer to the article's writer as the author. When describing the example, the author states, if you play just the upper voice, you'll hear a straightforward mixolydian melody that suits the harmony perfectly. Add the lower pitches and suddenly this lick snarls as a savoury dissonance is created by several arrogantly non-diatonic intervals. The author also notes that when creating this type of two-part texture, Scofield says you're basically just creating interesting intervals. I'm not suggesting I know Scofield's thinking behind this example, nor am I saying that he didn't simply improvise it, letting his ears guide its creation. And while I agree that the upper part is, as the author states, a straightforward mixolydian melody, the note choices and contour of the lower part seem more structured than simply being included to create interesting intervals with the upper line. The upper part uses all the notes of C mixolydian except A, and includes no chromaticism. It consists of this repeated rhythmic motif, which is melodically presented using different intervallic combinations. The lower part, by contrast, uses only 5 different notes, which when placed in order ascend from the lowest note, F sharp G flat, by a major second to A flat, and then proceed by a series of minor seconds to B. Inclusion of the pitches G flat and B flat may give a clue to the possible concept underpinning the lower line and its relationship with the other part. And if we take the B as a central pitch and mirror the intervals in the opposite direction, we get the following note collection moving from C to E. The framing pitches of the first collection then sound the root and third degrees of C7's tritone G flat 7, while the second collection is framed by the root and third of C7. The notes of the G flat B flat collection are all present in the lower part, and as we've seen, while D is present in the upper part, C sharp doesn't feature. If we place the mirrored notes on our note clock face, we see the first 2 pitches of the example, F sharp and E, sounding together as a harmonic minor 7th interval, are the mirror of each other, and the B is equidistant between them, a fact also true in the example. The initial E of the upper part is also the shared 3rd and 7th degrees of C7 and G flat 7, and is sounded 4 times through the example before returning to C, a motion which moves anti-clockwise around the note clock face. The lower part, after beginning on G flat, moves up to B flat and B natural before descending back to G flat, which is also an anti-clockwise move. The final harmonic interval of these descents sound together the notes G flat and C, the root notes of C7 and its tritone substitution. As I said earlier, Scofield may have improvised this example, relying on his ears to create, as he says, interesting intervals, in which case perhaps the resulting interval series was more harmonically conceived and simply moves from larger intervals on the left to smaller intervals on the right, concluding with the example's final major second dyad. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.